Hey you guys, welcome into today's video. Today I want to get into some new releases from NYX. So they launched 5 new things. I'm going to go over the 2 things I didn't pick up. So they came out with the lip gloss toppers to the Duck Plumping lip gloss. And I think this has shimmer in it. I just didn't like the formula. It was way too intense for me. And they also came out with the Duck Plump Retractable Plumping Lip Liner. So I didn't pick that up. But the other 3 things, and we will do a wear test on these today, they came out with a complexion product. I don't know how much coverage this is going to give, but we're going to test it out. It's the Buttermelt Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint with SPF 30. I think it's pretty light coverage because it only comes in 10 different shades, but we'll get into it. They also came out with the Brow Blade and Shade Nano Brow Pencil. This is retailing for $12 and it does come in 11 colors. And it's supposed to be like an interesting tip on it where you can get pretty precise, but then also it's broad enough that you can fill in pretty quickly. So those are like the photos there of what it looks like. I'm just always on the hunt for a retractable liner that is pretty affordable. I would say though, $12, not the most affordable, but I do love the shade range in 11 colors. And then the last thing was the Lip Ivy Hydrating Gloss Stain. So got 1 shade of this. That's what we're gonna put on today. We're gonna do a wear test on the complexion product. Let's get into it. Okay, so I have done my eyes, like the top part of my eyes. I am using the Ultimate Cappuccino palette. I am doing another video after this, so I'm gonna finish the eye look at the end and we'll come back with everything completed. But I am filming all the palettes that I tried for 2024 ranking video right after this. So this will be in that video if you guys are interested in seeing it. It will be up on my channel. So let's get into the Blade and Shade Nano Brow Pencil. Okay, so I have mine in the shade Taupe. I told you guys it comes in 11 colors and retails for $12. It's a dual-ended pencil, precisely fills in shades for a natural defined look. Yeah, it's just supposed to be a 2-in-1 tip is basically what it is, which is cool. I do like something precise and I also do like something that fills in pretty quickly. This though is not claiming to be waterproof, so that's like my only hello. That's like the only downside to this. Spoolie on one end. I say I don't care, but then I end up using the spoolies all the time to kind of brush my brows up. All right, this is the most interesting tip probably ever. So it's super fine, but then it's super precise like that. And then I think you can like stroke. What is up with me not holding this pencil correctly? Then I think you can stroke the brows like this to fill in. I just don't know like how sensitive this brow product is gonna be and like whether or not it's just gonna break over and over. It's a really dry formula first swatch. I love the shade though in Taupe, although doesn't it look slightly warm? Like just a little bit? I always assume Taupe is gonna be a cool shade. Yeah, it's a pretty dry pencil. Let's see how this works. I usually like to outline my brows and I don't even mind if it's like a thick outline. I will say the Kosas Nano Brow Pencil that everyone loved, was it last year? It didn't do it fast enough for me. It was too thin and it just kept breaking. And I'm thinking it landed in my worst of beauty for 2023, where for everybody else, it landed in their favorites. Like they loved it. I understand there's a need for a microfine pencil, especially if you're somebody who likes to fill in the front part of your brows. Look, I went from brow to no brow, or no brow to brow. It was just too fragile for me. I feel like this one is a lot less fragile. I usually fill in the front part. I don't usually go super detailed, but it's kind of nice to be able to. Well, that was super simple and pretty. Okay, so far I like this. I do the same thing to the other side. I always start at the bottom. I mean, this is like not my brow here. Basically what I fill in is the front to give me a brow that actually goes where I want it, and then a tail to like have a tail, because it's like it stops here and there. I feel like my brows have definitely gotten thinner and more sparse. I think that's just normal with age, but this one especially like is a lot less brow there. So usually on that side I do like to draw them in, like even if it's not just precision work and it's like I'm just drawing it in and then kind of like fading it like an ombre or whatever, which is not really what I'm doing. But even if the brow blade is like super thick, I don't necessarily mind. All right, now I'm just drawing them in. I wouldn't say this is looking like super hair-like and like realistic, but it's not what I'm looking for. I think though, if you were to compare this against the Nano from Kosas, they're very similar formulas. I think they do a very similar thing. And that was fast. That wasn't slower than me putting my brows together with my normal pencils that are just normal shaped, I guess. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a bit of a warmer tone in taupe than I normally assume taupe is going to come out. I always assume when I do taupe it's going to be quite gray, because that's what I think of taupe as. And gray being very cool toned. This is not that gray or cool toned, but it's nice for me and my preference, so long as it's not like too dark. Anyway, I think it's pretty good. We'll see how long it holds up today when we do the wear test for the complexion product. I'm getting like a little yellow in the coloring of this. Where is my lid? I do like that the sides are see-through, because I'm always grabbing for the wrong end when I'm trying to look for the pencil, so that's kind of nice. Again, I have said this on my channel before, but like brow products, like you're mostly paying for the mechanical packaging is kind of how I feel. You're barely getting very much product in here, barely getting very much product. Okay, well, you guys get it. Anyway, there's not a lot of product that is going into these things. And so I just think that you shouldn't charge a lot for a brow product. So I'm always on the hunt for an affordable one. But the one that I've liked the best has been the one from Sephora, which I think just went up in price, but they were around the $12 mark. I'm always looking for one that I can fall in love with that's affordable. None of them that I'm currently using are. I'm using one from Melt. I'm using, I think, the brow, oh my gosh, the brow blade, the one from Urban Decay. I really like that. The one from One Size. I always fall back on Benefit Precisely My Brow. I like the e.l.f. one. It just wasn't as long lasting for me, so I ended up not repurchasing it. So I guess my point is I've literally just been buying the mid-range price point pencils, and I don't feel like I want to. I want to spend no more than $12 on a brow product because I go through 6 of them in a year. All right, you guys, let's get into this glaze. I'm excited, but then also trepidatious. I don't know what to expect with this coming in only, what was it, 10 shades? 10 colors. All right, let's read it. The Buttermelt Glaze Skin Tint SPF 30. It says that it is dull skin, get glazed. NYX Professional Makeup Buttermelt Glaze Skin Tint with Shape and Mango Butter plus Niacinamide gives you glazed donut skin and SPF 30 in dewy sheer shades. So they're sheer, it's dewy. I get what they're going for here. If you guys are allergic to any of these things, the shea, the mango butter, and the niacinamide, gonna be something you're gonna wanna stay away from. I feel like NYX is one of those that still puts a lot of talc in things, and I don't know. I hear a lot of you guys say that, you know, there's ingredients in the NYX products that you typically stay away from. Let me know if that is something that you guys do. I don't see anything in here that would irritate me. So that's basically all it is. It's like a formula that melts into your skin that's supposed to give you a donut skin effect, a glossy glaze. I have mine in the shade 01 Whipped Butter. Let me see what shade that is in the line. I'm guessing it's like the lightest. Yep, fair with neutral undertones, because the next one is light with warm undertones. Where did the neutral go? If this is something super sheer, maybe it's just not gonna matter. And then why would undertone necessarily matter? So it's lightweight. It's not a super thin formula per se, not like runny. Oh, NYX, they always scent things. Scented, scented, scented. If you guys don't like scents in here, I don't think you're gonna like this. I wanna rub it into the hand and see. It's so sticky that I feel like this would work as like a straight up primer. There's no coverage here. This is something I could definitely see not being a complexion product, but more, let me move my hair back, something like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. Like that's kind of what I imagine. Like it's just giving me a dewy finish, but there's no coverage. So, okay, I think that's kind of what we're getting at here. This is just an SPF. Yeah, it's not even like a skin tint really. Gives you a glazed donut skin and SPF 30 and dewy sheer shades. Okay, let's start with the right side and see what we get here. I don't even know why you need undertones if there's no coverage. I mean, I'm not joking, but why does it have to smell like a donut? I'm gonna take the right side with a brush. Usually that'll give me more coverage, so I figure we start with that and see what it's doing. I can smell the SPF in it, but it also has like a sweet scent. It is very, very light, but I think we're getting some coverage here, like the smallest amount. It's barely adding coverage to my face. Yeah, okay. It kind of just evened out my skin tone is what it did. And it's glossy, and I feel like I smell like a donut. Though I like the smell of the SPF. It just has like, again, a very sweet smell to it. I didn't put a lot on. I think that that would be bad for me because products that are a little bit tackier in their formulation, this is a clean sponge, like as clean as I could get it. They typically sit on my skin too much and they don't sink in, and I don't want the wear test on this to be bad or unfair. So any additional coverage that I'm going to give this is going to be from a concealer. I'm not going to add more of this product to try and build it up and see like, can I make it medium coverage? I really don't think that's its intention. Yeah, more coverage on the brush side. I don't have a preference, I don't think, other than you're going to get more coverage on the brush side. So maybe I probably would use this with a brush just for the type of product that it is, because it's so sheer, I guess. I am going to go and add a little bit more with this brush because I tested it and I'm done testing. Now I need to even them out. I'm quite interested to see how this wear test goes. Like, is this even going to stay on my face, you know? I feel like if you wanted to throw something on to go to the beach, I've heard some of you say like, I don't wear foundation to the beach or whatever. Well, listen, okay? I do sometimes because I'm not always getting in the water with my kids. Sometimes I'm soaking it up with a drink under one of those cabana-y things. So, you know, sometimes there's no reason for me to look like a bum. Anyway, okay, what it's doing right by my nose looks absolutely awful. It's usually like the part that I hate with a thicker foundation because it's not like sinking into the skin. I feel like I just wiped a lot of it off. I mean, I'm already thinking like this is not a skin tint per se. This is a glowy SPF. That's what it is, with like the tiniest bit of coverage. So if you wanted something literally to go with basically no makeup on but have SPF and maybe just even out your skin tone for like a beach day, then I feel like this would be great. I even feel like, you know, if you used this pretty sparingly as just an SPF underneath your foundation, it might even look good too. I think maybe it offers like maybe a hint more coverage than that. But let's put on some concealer and like see how the complexion looks after it. And we'll even powder it too. Okay, my forehead is like super duper shiny. So I am going to put like a little bit of setting powder on it. This is like actually an under eye powder, but it's also a brightening powder. You can clearly see that this is nice and dewy before you powder it. I always powder my face, so I want to test it as I think I would normally test a foundation or like a skin tint if I was gonna wear it as a complexion product and literally just not as an SPF. So I would normally powder. I want to give it a little bit. I don't think this is like a super heavy powder for me, and it's also like not a full face setting powder either. Okay, I went a little bit glam because of the next video that I'm filming, but I feel like I took this skin tint kind of glam. Like, doesn't it look like a decent medium coverage? Maybe even like kind of full coverage after I powdered over it. I only used concealer under my eyes and around my nose. That's literally all I added. So it wasn't like I added a ton of concealer on top of the skin tint itself. So I didn't alter it. I really just kind of set it down. So like this is kind of the coverage that it's giving, which is nice. I think it's actually more than I thought it was gonna be. The powder really locked it down. It like took away the glaze and all of that stuff. So if you don't like that effect, you saw how it looked before I powdered, but if you still wanted to use it and get an SPF out of it with like light coverage, because that's something that you're into, but you still like to powder, I feel like you can also do that. All right, now let's go into the lip products. So these come in the most shades here, 16 different shades, and all these like look super tinted, super dark. I think I got like one of the lighter shades. This one is Bubblegum Burst. I do feel like this is one of the lighter shades. But yeah, they're all very, very dark and they go super deep. There's one that's like literally black. Here it is here. So it's called Grape Gushin. So these retail for $12. It says it's a lip IV hydrating gloss stain, instant wet shine, overtime lip stain in multiple saturated shades, infused with magnesium, vitamin B12, and lip quenching coconut water. Use for an instant wet shine that leaves a natural looking even lip stain. Up to 12-hour hydration design with water breaking technology for refreshing saturated color. So it does say over time lip stain, hydrating gloss stain, instant wet shine, over time lip stain. I don't know what that means, over time. So it doesn't stain like immediately. Oh, it has one of these little tiny doe foot applicators, the kind that are, what are these called? Diamond tipped, I guess. Wow, it's really opaque. I mean, I guess I was expecting that for a lip stain, or like kind of what it looks like in here, but it could have been anything. So what does over time mean? So it's not instant? Like instant wet shine, but over time lip stain. Okay. It's a really pretty glossy formula. It's not sticky, but it is thicker. There's a thickness to it. You can even see this like on the swatch. Like see, it has some substance. Okay, I think you're gonna want a lip liner for this, which I did not do. I like its high shine. I like that it kind of fills in the lip lines, you know, it doesn't emphasize. It is the slightest tint on my hand. So I guess that's what they mean by over time. It like doesn't stain immediately. You really have to leave it on there for a good period of time before it actually stains. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna use it for a stain, like primarily, but I guess it's good that once the gloss fades, the color is still there a little bit. So that's pretty nice. Overall, the formula itself as a lip product is actually really nice. It's not goopy or gross, although you can really feel how thick it is. So it's kind of more on the moisturizing, nourishing side. It's not super thin. So if you wanted something super thin, this is not gonna be it. I can tell you that right now. The rest of this video is going to consist of my wear test. I will do a check-in for you guys in natural light right at the halfway point, and then we'll come back up, you know, anywhere from like 8 to 10 to could be 12 hours, who the heck knows. But I will see you guys then. So far, I've given you really all my thoughts that I can on the skin tint, on the brow product, on the lip product, and so far I'm actually liking all of them. I do like them. We'll see if my thoughts change. I will see you guys back here at the end of the evening. Bye for now. Hello y'all and welcome back. It's been 10 hours. What time is it right now? 9:50. It's almost 10 o'clock. Actually, no, that makes it like 11 hours because I put this on, I don't know, it's probably like 11 o'clock this morning. Look at it. Like even the eyeshadow held up pretty well. Honestly, this brow pencil, like look how good and long this has lasted. Usually out here in my little wings, and they'll have faded if it's not like a really good brow pencil, and they didn't. And I will tell you guys, I took a 2 to 3 hour nap. You know, it's after Christmas, the house is destroyed. I felt like we needed a little break. We did all the hosting, etc., etc. So we did take a pretty long nap, we all did. And this is after a nap. So let me show you guys what it looked like at the 4-hour mark. And I give you my thoughts in that filming at the 4-hour mark, which is a little less than half, but let me pause so you guys can see that. Okay. We're at the 4-hour mark. I probably am gonna wear this more than 8 hours. So maybe this isn't halfway. It's actually really good. Like if you kind of look far away, like it still looks pretty glam. I haven't touched it up or anything. And I feel like it's even more like a medium coverage, like almost full coverage foundation. Like so much more than a skin tint, just with adding like a little bit of concealer and powder on top of it. Like I'm not hating this at all. So I actually think this is really nice. I'll see you guys, you know, we'll see what it looks like later on. So I'll see you guys later. All right, so you can definitely see that I'm liking it at that point, but I'm also liking it right now. Like what the heck? I did not think that this was gonna hold up as well, especially because I have some NYX products that have SPF in it, you know, that new primer that came out, that it's a little bit more dewy and kind of a tackier formula. And so I get more dewy with it when I'm wearing it, just because that's the kind of product that it is. But this held up so much better than I thought. Maybe because it has niacinamide in it. 93% skincare formula with niacinamide, again, mango and shea butter. And this, I forgot to mention, was 1.01 fluid ounces and has a 12-month shelf life. That's very normal for anything with SPF in it. But I'm getting dewy now, like on my nose and my forehead, but I like it. It doesn't look bad. It's not the kind where I'm just naturally producing the oils and it's breaking down the product. I don't know why this performed so well. For what it is, I really did think it was going to be such minimal coverage. It wasn't going to last very long. It was going to fade funny. And I even thought maybe it would be a little bit thick, but it wears really well. It looks really natural. I don't know. I really enjoyed this. And at the 4-hour mark, it honestly looked way more full coverage than I was anticipating. It's like the whole glam look pretty much held up. And this eyebrow product, this is good. I'm not even kidding you guys. This is one of the better brow days that I've had in a while. While I'll say that taupe is a little bit warm toned, you can see it especially in this light. This brow product held up so well for smashing my face into a pillow literally for 2 to 3 hours today. So that typically doesn't happen. Usually when I wake up, I'm telling you guys, I will lose these little wings out here, and they didn't go freaking anywhere. And I'm pretty sure I laid on this side, so you can see like it's a little bit more faded than that. So I'm loving this freaking brow product. I'm loving it. And 12 shades this comes in, okay? So really good. Also really good. And the Lip Ivy, okay, it's more glossy serum, and not even a serum really. I think that's just kind of like a thick gloss that's really opaque, nice and pigmented. The stain is so minimal, so minimal. And when they really say like over time, it's really like you gotta let this sit for an hour, probably 2, before it really starts to stain. It fades off pretty quickly. It's not a really long stain. Although that's kind of what it claims. It doesn't say it on the packaging. It's just a hydrating gloss serum. Anyway, I really enjoyed all three of these products. I like a really pigmented gloss, or I'm just like really into that at the current moment. I know some of you guys aren't, but I really do like it. I like a high shine lip. It prevents me from wearing a matte color underneath and throwing a high shine gloss on top. So I do think this is really nice. I really enjoyed all three of these products today. They were so much more of a home run than I thought that they were going to be. And I highly recommend them. That's all I gotta say. I had a good performance day, held up way better than I thought it would. I'm definitely repurchasing this little bad boy because it's one of the most unique tips ever. It didn't break on me. It just performed both in applying it and then the wear test. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'd love to hear your comments or feedback in the comments below. If you guys aren't currently subscribed, there goes my kids. I would love to see you subscribe, you guys. I'm out of here for tonight. I'm gonna wash this off. These lashes are going flew and I'm going to bed, or I'm going back to bed. I don't know. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I'm out of here. Hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye guys.